Welcome to Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine. I'm your host, longtime astrologer and psychic Jill Jardine, and in today's episode, I'm going to discuss the astrology of April 2020. I'm also going to lead you at the end in a Raise Your Vibration Chakra Meditation to keep your energy and immunity high, so stay tuned. So in today's episode of Cosmic Scene, I'm going to discuss the astrology of April 2020 and what we can expect during that month and which are the key dates and what may unfold during this time. The second part of today's episode, I'm going to lead you, listeners, in a Raise Your Vibration Chakra Meditation to keep your energy and immunity up by activation of the energetic physiology through the chakra system. So I'll give you the whole teaching with that. What you need to know is toward the end of the episode, I will give you the heads up to get relaxed, find a relaxed place, whether you're going to sit or lie down to set up for that. But first of all, I want to talk about the astrology that's happening right now in early April and throughout the month. And the thing that seems to be the most important as I looked at where all the planets are the fact that Mars and Saturn are together in early degrees of Aquarius, okay? They shifted out of Capricorn. I discussed in my coronavirus astrology episode earlier about how there was a stellium of 4 planets in Capricorn. Mars came along to ignite 3 of them, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, and that brought out the collective issue of the coronavirus and also has a big effect on the stock market. So since late March, Saturn and Mars, who were responsible for that conundrum and sort of the mess that we find ourselves in, have moved away from the pack, and they are now in the sign of Aquarius, which is very hopeful. This is a much better placement. Although we are going to have them very tightly together, they're going to activate some things at the full moon April 7th, which I'll talk about. But I see a lot of shimmer of hope. The thing about Aquarius is that it is a sign of the humanitarian. It is a sign of unity consciousness. So I think during the month of April, we're going to see more moves of humanitarian efforts and we're all in this together attitude. There's a great example that just occurred here in Massachusetts of the Saturn-Mars conjunction in Aquarius. So as many states are dealing with the lack of PPE or personal protective equipment, specifically the face mask, there are attempts to procure these much needed equipment wherever they can. But recently the federal government basically told the governors of different states that they were on their own to try to procure these. And so Governor of Massachusetts here, Charlie Baker, decided that he needed to access face masks for all our medical workers in Massachusetts. And so he reached out to his friend Jonathan Kraft, who is the head of the Board of Trustees of Massachusetts General Hospital, who also contacted his father, Robert Kraft, who is the owner of the Patriots football team. So a lot of behind-the-scenes arrangements were made, and the upshot was that the arrangement was made to get the Patriots, the football team, the Patriots of New England, to get that plane refitted and ready to go to fly to China to procure a shipment of face masks that the Chinese government was going to sell to America, specifically the state of Massachusetts. So this was arranged, and a lot of behind-the-scenes efforts, such as getting instant approval from the Chinese consulate in New York, and a lot of special accommodations had to be made, but it was pulled off. And so in a very short time window, they did organize this Patriot plane to go to China mission. And when it did get to China, it only had 3 hours on the ground so that it could be filled with the equipment of the masks. And then they had to fly back to the U.S. So it is something of like what we would make a movie of, very heroic, very timely. But this is an example of the archetype of the Mars and Saturn together. And I'll tell you why. Mars in astrology rules athletic teams and sports. Thus, the Patriots plane is a symbol of the Mars. And then Saturn in Aquarius has to do with going beyond the system. When Saturn was in Capricorn, It brought the changes to structures. It brought the changes to our existing government systems, health systems, and kind of threw everything up in disarray. And so Saturn in Aquarius is all about, let's go to people who have some power and do things a little bit out of the regular protocols, which is what was done. So, and also going to somebody who has power, i.e. Bob Kraft, to procure the funds to do this. So quite a wonderful humanitarian mission with this archetypal Mars and Saturn in Aquarius. When I saw that plane land in Boston's Logan Airport on TV the other night, it brought tears to my eyes. This is an Aquarian humanitarian effort. So that's just an example of astrology in action and how it affects us in day-to-day life or in bigger events such as that. So when I come back, I'm going to talk about more of the astrology that is going to be happening in the month of April. So stay tuned. Okay, so the big keynotes are Mars and Saturn moving through Aquarius during the month of April 2020. Another planet is going to go into an air sign, and that's the planet Venus going into Gemini in early April. Now, you must know that Aquarius and Gemini are air signs. And so air rules things that are airborne. Air also rules travel by air. So I think we're going to see more of this transport of necessary resources and materials to the places that they need to go, thanks to these astrological signatures. The fact that we now have these 3 planets in air signs is really a nice, I would say, release and relief from the heaviness of all the earth energies of Capricorn and Taurus. Uranus has been in Taurus, that have been very strong for the last few months. So the other thing we have to look forward to, and speaking of air signs, is the fact that we're going to have a full moon on April 7th, 2020, and we will have the moon in an air sign. It will be in the sign Libra. So we'll have a nice, what we call trine or aspect between Mars, Saturn in Aquarius, Venus in Gemini, and the moon in Libra, which is going to be very good for communication and very flowing. However, at a full moon, people might not realize that the moon and the sun are opposite each other. So even though we have this beautiful moon in Libra activating a trine of Saturn, Mars, and Venus in fellow air signs, we're going to have the sun in Aries. And Aries is fire. The sun has been moving through Aries since the 19th of March and will continue till the 19th of April 2020. And this full moon on April 7 also will occur in the middle of the Uranus-Mars square. Uranus is in the sign Taurus, and it's going to aspect that Mars and Saturn in Aquarius with a difficult aspect. So, to reiterate, we're going to have a nice trine with air signs. However, Uranus in Earth sign Taurus is going to create a glitch. So, this full moon is going to be very interesting. One of the big signatures of Aries Libra, with the sun in Aries, moon Libra, is that people are going to really have to learn how to balance the needs of self, Aries, and those needs of others. And a lot of people are sequestered together during this coronavirus time, and I've been hearing that relationships can be a little bit tough right now with everybody sequestered together. So it's going to come to a head, Aries, Libra. There can be some conflicts in personal relationships, outwardly, public people maybe arguing with each other out in public. Also, people in power having different points of views, and we're seeing that kind of conflict. So it's all going to come to a head on April 7th. I also feel like the first 2 weeks in April, from the 1st till about the 15th, are going to be the worst with the coronavirus trajectory. And this full moon on the 7th will bring everything to a head. I'll talk about what's coming after that. But the first half of April is a little bit volatile, and it will bring things to a head. Tensions will run pretty high at their highest point. And the full moon being in the sign Aries with Mars, its depositor, as we call it in astrology, in a difficult aspect with Uranus, can create some problems. I think that we may see the use of National Guard or the military to help with coronavirus pandemic transportation of people, helping people like EMTs and some of the health professionals as we see them get overloaded. So Mars will bring in the military and sort of the cavalry type of thing coming from perhaps the National Guard. The other thing is that at this full moon, it could be a little chaotic with the Mars, which is ruling the Aries sun, in a difficult aspect to Uranus, and the moon in Libra is going to be asking for balance. So think about Mars, it's ruling Aries, which is a fire sign. We're going to see a lot of putting out of fires. There's going to be a lot of different fires, so to speak, going on with situations. And Mars can be erratic, impulsive, make rash decisions, and have some volatility. So we have to be careful about that, do our prayers for protection, and watch what's happening out there in the public arenas. It can be probably get a little bit nasty, or there'll be some interesting things showing up. But again, the trine with the air signs is a good sign, and the fact that there will be some swiftness with movement. I think that at this full moon, we're going to see that the swiftness will come in with getting some of this testing for the coronavirus done, and also testing people maybe post-coronavirus to see if they have developed an immunity to it. So some of this testing we've been waiting for and new technologies are going to be given a boost with this trine in air signs and the Saturn-Mars trining the moon and Gemini. The other thing we need to know that the moon's dispositor is Venus and Gemini at this time, but it's with an asteroid called Vesta, which symbolizes security and the home and the hearth. So that pretty much indicates that we'll be hunkered down throughout the month of April, as is already determined. When I come back, I'm going to talk a little bit about the new moon in April, and that is going to be on the 22nd of April. So when I come back, I'll talk about the new moon in Taurus. Another big keynote of the astrology in April 2020 is the Taurus new moon, which will occur on April 22nd. And so what's going to happen at that new moon, the sun and moon are together in the sign Taurus, and they're also joined by Uranus, the Aquarian planet of change, conjuncting the new moon in early Taurus. So this is interesting because Uranus is a planet of change and unpredictable activity, and Taurus, the sign, likes stability and security. So it'll be interesting to see what happens during the new moon that week of April 22nd. What I predict might happen is that we'll see that there'll be pressure on certain groups to make things happen, and people will be obviously getting fed up with the cloistered coronavirus situation and wanting to be coming out more. So I think it might push the energy a little bit to see what we can do to go back to business as usual. And speaking about business, Taurus is one of the financial signs of the zodiac, as is Scorpio. And so when we go into the sign of Taurus at the end of April and May, we keep a strong eye on the stock markets because historically this is a time when they can be a little bit fluctuating or erratic. And we're going through quite a fluctuating, erratic time as we lead into the Taurus equinox, which begins on April 19th and goes until May 19th. And so with Uranus coming along to connect with the sun and moon in Taurus at this new moon, we may see the fluctuations of the stock market again coming up and down. I don't think we're going to see stability there. I think it's going to be a little bit of Mr. Toad's wild ride for a while with the financial markets. However, there will be a move to bring solutions and to stabilizing the economy, and that will happen throughout May. There will be a big focus at this new moon in Taurus because of the financial piece of Taurus. People are really going to be feeling the lack of no income because it will have been about a month to 6 weeks for many people who haven't been working. So there will be some more pushes, I believe, by governments and by people with resources to help others financially or people who are really suffering because of the lack of income. And so some of the pressure I'm seeing too might be on governments, state governments, and other decision makers to get people back to work or to let people start making money again. So that's going to be the big focus, the financial piece at the end of April 2020. When I come back, I'm going to lead you in a meditation to relax and receive some healing, calming energy so that you don't have to worry about things like your finances and your health. Hello, welcome back to Cosmic Scene. We're now in the segment of the broadcast when I lead you in a meditation. And today's meditation will be to raise your vibration. It's a chakra meditation to keep your energy and immunity up. We're going to activate the energetic physiology through the subtle body of the chakra system. The chakras, for those who might be new to this, it comes from yogic teachings, and there's a correlate with the glandular system of the physical body. So this will be a relaxation to help you connect with the chakras, with their various colors and energies, and to bring in a heightened sense of well-being, and as I said, boost your energy. It is relaxing. So I invite you now to find a place to relax, whether it's seated. This is a very good meditation to do seated, or lying down. So take a moment, get yourself set up, and relaxing into your seat or on the surface beneath you. So I'm going to invite you to just start breathing. And as you're seated or lying there, I'm going to have you pay attention to the part of your body at the base of your spine. This is what we call the root chakra, Muladhara in Sanskrit. And this area covers the base of the spine and the back of the body, the glutes and the legs, and then the front of the body from the navel center down. So that would include your legs all the way down to your feet. So as you're lying there, I want you to imagine that flowing up from the soles of your feet is this beautiful ruby red energy. Red is the color of the root chakra, the first chakra. And this beautiful red liquid energy flows up the soles of your feet, through your legs, coming up into the hips, into the hip flexors, into the pelvic area, into the area below the navel, around the back, releasing the muscles, the gluteus muscles, releasing the muscles of the low back, and just feeling this ruby red energy moving through that root chakra area. And as you feel the healing and warmth of this ruby red energy in the root chakra, you can say to yourself, or you can feel, that you are supported, you are stable, you are secure, you are safe. I am supported, I am stable, I am secure, I am safe. And feel this energy in the root chakra and know that that is true. And that continues. And now I want you to bring your attention to your navel center, the second chakra, called the Svadhisthana in Sanskrit. And I want you to imagine that there's a beautiful sun far off in the universe, and it's beaming a beautiful orange ray of energy down into that navel center, surrounding it with beautiful orange light. And this goes into all the organ systems that are there too. The digestive systems, kidneys, adrenal, spleen, stomach, liver, gallbladder, receiving this beautiful orange healing light going into the second chakra at the navel center. And as you receive that beautiful orange healing light into the second chakra, you can say, I am nourished, I am safe, I am creative, bringing in creative energy, bringing in energy of assimilation, nurturing, nourishing energy. I am nurtured. I am nourished. I am creative. I release all that no longer serves. And so the second chakra is receiving this orange healing light, and that continues. As you move your attention to the solar plexus beneath the ribs, activating the third chakra of Manipura in Sanskrit, you can feel from this beautiful sun far off in the universe a beam of yellow gold light coming into your solar plexus, the body's healing generator. And as this beautiful golden light pulses in to the solar plexus chakra, you can say, I am healed, I am healthy, I receive universal healing energy, and it flows through my entire body. And as you receive this golden healing light into the solar plexus, know that it is empowering, it is protective. It allows you to align with your divine will, and it brings in continual healing energy through the beautiful yellow golden light. And that continues. And now moving your awareness to your heart center, encompassing your heart, your lungs, and begin to notice from the source that all that is, this beautiful golden healing sun, this beautiful healing sun, is beaming in a beautiful green ray of light into your heart center, your heart chakra called the Anahata chakra in Sanskrit. And this beautiful green light is so healing. It can be maybe emerald green or lime green, whatever color you need, it's coming into your heart, bringing all kinds of healing into the physical heart, the emotional heart, the spiritual, transpersonal heart, as well as bringing healing into the lungs. Healing light beaming into the lungs, allowing the prana and energy of the lungs to be strong and healthy. And this green energy flows down into the arms and the hands and fingers, because the arms are an extension of the heart. And feel yourself embracing a beautiful green, almost like big beach ball of green light as your heart receives the healing, as your lungs receive the healing. And maybe saying to yourself, I am open to receive. I am open to receive all the blessings the universe has for me now. I am open to receive all the love the universe has for me now. I receive and give love easily and effortlessly. I am open to receive all the healing the universe has for me now. I am open to receive all the prosperity the universe has for me now. And breathe. Inhale to the heart and exhale. Feel your lungs healthy, whole. Breathing in, healing. Exhaling all you no longer need. Breathing in health and light. Exhaling imbalance. Inhaling healing. Exhaling any toxins. And maybe bringing your hands to your heart as you continue this beautiful heart breath. Having the heart chakra receiving the green healing light. And that continues. And moving into your throat center now, the Vishuddha chakra, fifth chakra in Sanskrit. And feel a beautiful blue healing light flowing in from that sun far off in the universe into your throat center, bringing healing blue light into the throat, healing the thyroid, parathyroid, the throat, allowing you to speak your truth, allowing your voice to be a source of creativity, empowering your words, receiving the blue healing light into the throat center. And that continues. And moving now your attention to the third eye center, what we call the Ajna chakra, the third eye, the sixth chakra. And this is where the pineal gland is located. Our ability to intuit and see our future, to manifest our reality, to receive information on an intuitive level, whether it be through clairsentience, clairseeing, clairfeeling, clairsentience, clairvoyance, clairseeing, or clairaudience, clairhearing. This is the psychic center of the pineal gland, third eye center. And you can feel coming from the source that all that is, that beautiful golden sun is beaming in a beautiful violet light to your third eye center, bringing healing into the glandular system through the pineal, the pituitary, the hypothalamus, activating the pineal gland for health and longevity, and opening your inner wisdom and your inner vision, activating your guidance, your psychic intuitive abilities. So continue to receive this beautiful violet beam of light from the source of all that is as you activate your Ajna chakra, third eye center. And that continues. And now the crown center, the Sahasrara chakra, the crown chakra, begins to receive from the source of all that is beautiful luminous white light pouring down through the crown center, illuminating the intellect, illuminating all of the head centers, receiving divine guidance, divine wisdom, divine healing, as this beautiful luminous white light pours into the crown center and unifies all the other chakra centers, the violet ray of the third eye center, the blue ray of the throat, the green ray of the heart, the yellow gold ray of the solar plexus center, the orange ray of the navel chakra, and the ruby ray of the root chakra. They all come together as a beautiful rainbow of light encompasses you in the beautiful luminosity of self and soul, the white light of luminosity. So take a moment here as all 7 chakras are activated and bask in this luminous white light for a moment. And in a moment, continuing to receive this luminosity of healing, chakras activated, I'm going to count up from 1 to 10, and you'll come back into the room refreshed, relaxed, and feeling very good. 1, coming back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe moving your fingers and your hands. 8, your feet, your toes. 9, feeling yourself coming into your body. And 10, fully awake, refreshed, alert, relaxed, staring at a point on the wall in front of you or on the ceiling above. And welcome back. Hope you're feeling fine after that healing meditation. Signing off from Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine, thanking all my new listeners for tuning in. and sending you good vibrations through the quantum field.